Hi, it's Rich Bennett from the Ontario Regiment Museum, and we're here today to perform one of our routine tasks, which is starting our vehicles for winter maintenance. Part of the stuff with COVID, because the museum is closed to essentially everyone during the lockdown, is we can't run our vehicles on a normal basis. So the batteries get run down, the tanks sit. It's not good for the vehicles. It's really not good for the batteries. We end up having a lot of battery issues because the vehicles sit for so long. So as you can see, I'm pretty dirty here today. We've already started with some of the vehicles. This is our Chieftain Mark 11. Grant McKay is our driver operator, our resident expert on the Chieftain. And he's getting prepared to start the GUE, which is the generator that we use to charge up the batteries, power the hydraulics, and actually we can start the main engine from that piece of equipment. So we'll take it over to Grant, we'll let him start it up, and you'll get a good sound of what this actually sounds like in the winter. This is the GUE starting now, and he's going to let it run for a minute so that it warms up, and we'll go from there. Now the GUE on a Chieftain vehicle, Chieftain tank, is basically a small motor in the back of the engine compartment that powers a hydraulic pump and a generator. So it actually gives us the capability to charge the batteries, run the turret, or if we don't have enough battery power in the main batteries, we can run the GUE and start the engine hydraulically. And that's the main engine. So as you can see, the volume goes up quite a bit when you get the main engine running over the little GUE. So now we'll let this vehicle run for a while, let everything get warmed up, get all the fluids circulating, and then before we shut her down, we'll do a check on all the fluids, make sure everything's good, make sure we don't have any gross leaks. After we shut down, we have to go back through it again, make sure we have all the appropriate levels, make sure we haven't lost a lot of fluid or anything. But that's all part of this. Having a vehicle sit for a long period of time, like I said, isn't good. So on a routine basis, a number of us will come in and actually get these things running so that we can keep them serviceable. So basically, part of our first spray for a Leopard is to give the lube oil filter, which is in here, a spin. This one's really tight because of its age. The other things we have to check prior to start, this is our engine oil. There's got to be a bit on the dipstick. We've already checked that there's sufficient oil to start it. And then we have a second one for the transmission. And we've already checked that, it's got more than enough to run. Both at appropriate levels, but that's a must before we run the Leopard engine. Being a dry sump engine, you have to make sure there's a little bit of oil before it starts, and then as soon as you start it, you got to check it again. Let's hope that it's got enough juice. In a second. Okay, so one of the problems that we run into with vehicles sitting for so long is batteries become discharged due to age, sulfation, a variety of reasons. Vehicles can have fire protection systems on them, which are usually live all the time, so that draws down the batteries. So one of our favorite pieces of kit around this museum is a slave cable. And the slave cable hooks up to the master power junction box at the front. Got a couple of adapters in there so we can plug one vehicle into another one and utilize its batteries to start the other one. Got nothing there? Turn the power on, Grant. Up. Okay. We're gonna have to start this one up. Yeah. So as is normal, prior to starting any of our vehicles, we always check the oil in the engine, the coolant, and whatnot. Grant's performing the last step, which is checking the engine oil. We always want to make sure we have the correct amount of lubricating fluid in the engine. Too little oil is not good to run the engines on. We end up wiping bearings and going through a lot of maintenance that would not be required for something that takes about 5 minutes to check.
Good morning, Grant McKay here at the Ontario Regiment Museum. Part of our maintenance process here for all these vehicles because they've been sitting a while. So we're going to try and start it up. She's been sitting for probably 4 or 5 months. Got to hook up some batteries here and then give her a shot and see what we got for power, and hopefully she'll fire up. Try main engine and start now.
I'm Paul Mabry, the vehicle section manager here at the Ontario Regiment Museum. We've got one of our Hanomags here that we're starting up. Had to do some work on the batteries. Just had to prime the pumps for the fuel since it's been sitting for a while. And now we're going to try to start it. Just going to try pumping the fuel pump a bit more. So these ones, when they're sitting for a while, they lose their prime. It's an old 2-stroke V8 diesel. Okay, let's try that. And with the diesels, if you're not seeing smoke and it's not getting fuel, getting a little bit of smoke.
Okay, so that's basically about it for our maintenance run today. As you can see, the museum is in a state set up for maintenance, not so much for display. A lot of dust, a lot of dirt. One of the tasks, like I said, is just to run the vehicles to keep the maintenance charged. That was today's task. If you want to see more, come visit us on our Facebook page at Ontario Regiment, or come visit us tankmuseum.ca. There's more videos there. I'm sure you'll enjoy them all. But until next time, stay tuned. There's more to come, and we hope to see you when we open.